Welcome to the Business LNK podcast. I'm Kathy Andersen, and I work at LPED, the Lincoln Partnership for Economic Development. We're here in the AOI studio with Scott Kroeker, who is the founder of Road Sentinel. And Road Sentinel is one of our LaunchLNK recipients. That's a grant program we do, and in 2024, we picked 6 companies from over 80 to receive the grant. So, Scott,
Mhm.
welcome. It's good to be here.
Hey, it's great to be here. And thank you very much for being one of the recipients. I'm a big supporter of Lincoln, Nebraska. I went to school here, grew up in Nebraska, so very excited.
That's wonderful. And that is, our investors. We are here doing economic development. We care about making Lincoln a thriving city and having companies that start here and grow here. And thank you for being part of it. Yeah, tell us more about your
Well, I was
background.
just I was just going to say this isn't the first time in Lincoln, Nebraska. So back in 2001, I had a tech startup company in Lincoln, Nebraska. There was no level of support back then as there is today.
Yeah,
And we grew our company from 2001. It was a tech company. And we sold it to private equity in 2005. So we had a successful exit. Everybody that's come in to visit me from Lincoln, I'm always telling them it's a great place to be. It's a good place to set up a business, great place to live and work. So I always plug Lincoln, Nebraska whenever I can.
that's wonderful. Um, that is a wonderful experience propelling you with Road Sentinel. Now, tell us more about your background and your familiarity with entrepreneurial ventures.
So I was a part of the Nebraska Angels group, and I was approached about less than a year ago, I guess, with N Motion and the Generator Fund, and they said, "Would you like to start a company again?" It was a great program. They funded founders to start companies from scratch without knowing what the company was going to be. So we had to come up with 50 business ideas that we vetted out to try and reduce it down to 4 and then finally pick one. So in the process of doing that, the first company idea I had was in road safety. We went through all the other business ideas, and at the very end, when we were going to choose one, I said, "I'm going to go back to the first one." And they said, "What do you mean?" I said, I have a passion for this. I have decades of experience in government, transportation, road safety. And in the process of doing that, I sold these products and I also helped design them. And what I saw was these road safety structures are big, bulky, heavy steel items. But if they're slightly damaged, they won't work. And if they don't work, people lose lives. And at the time, there was very little you could do to understand if these road safety structures were actually slightly damaged. If somebody hit them, everybody would know about it, be a police report. But if you just drive by, there's very little you can do to understand if it's slightly damaged. You have to get out of the car, you have to go manually inspect it, which means if you're out in the road manually inspecting, I don't know if you've ever changed a tire on the interstate,
Yep. Yep.
it's a death-defying act, and DOT employees lose their lives all the time.
Oh man.
And in the process of understanding more about this, I was first looking at the market and the problem. The problem is that there are an average 3 deaths per day with people hitting these guardrail and these guardrail end terminals that protect the vehicle from being cut in half. Now, when they're not working properly, and I'm going to tell this to everybody out there, the guardrail you see on the side of the road, that little W shaped long thing, if you hit it wrong and it doesn't work, it will slice right through your car like hot knife through butter. And I saw that. Um, And when you see video and images of accidents where these things aren't working, you will forever be changed.
Hmm.
And one of these accidents was a friend of mine. And he wasn't a friend at the time, but he became a friend. He lost his daughter in one of these accidents. And if the product had actually been in the proper working order like it should have been, it probably would have saved his daughter's life.
Right.
Um, and Steve Eimers is his name. And as I started Road Sentinel, I reached out. I had never talked to the man before, and I told him what my mission was. My mission was to make our roads safer, save lives. And I talked to him about the fact that today there is technology out there available where you don't have to get out of the car. You don't have to go manually inspect it. We have the ability today with computer vision and AI to replicate what the human eye cannot do. So, Road Sentinel is designed to use computer vision with three-dimensional cameras to quickly drive by the road so that we can quickly inspect these devices, see if they're damaged, so that they can prioritize them and they can get them fixed before the next person hits them.
I love this application of technology. This is, like you say, it's possible now,
Mm-hmm.
and you're applying this technology to this problem.
And beyond the personal tragedy of something happening, there is a price that we pay. And there's been a lot of studies about what is the cost. And unfortunately, the amount of deaths that actually occur, it's about a $45 million per day cost that we bear through our insurance, through our government's
Oh man.
fixing, repairing, inspecting. So when there is a death or a serious accident, we all pay the price. If we can spare the life, reduce the severity, we can actually save money that affects each and every one of us.
Wow. I hadn't heard it quite like that before. That is a very compelling problem that you're solving.
It's good to know that you're solving a problem that matters to so many people
Yeah.
because you never know if you're going to be the one next or someone you know next. And it'd be nice to know that somebody out there is looking. And I tell you what, for the DOT employees, it's a hard job. There's no way they can there's just no way they can keep track of it. Anything we could do to make their lives better, simpler, do it faster, do it cost effectively, it's good for all of us.
You're here. What are some milestones you're coming up on in growing your company and the from the Enmotion Venture Studio to
Hmm.
now? Yeah.
So the company literally has been in existence since November. So that's 3 months. We'll say 4 months
Here, here. Yes.
to be optimistic there.
Yes.
So when you start a company from scratch after 4 months, usually a lot of people takes years to get to that point. Um, we are actually at a point after only 4 months where we've done a lot of work. I have actually been able to demonstrate the concept, proven the concept of what we can do,
Wonderful.
and with our grant that we received, we are actually developing the prototype. So putting the hardware and the software together so that I can actually go out, drive, collect data, show people how it works, and really show them how it works so that I can actually start going to these DOTs and actually showing them this is possible and it is cost effective. And so my milestones have been getting to know the DOT people, getting to know the people industry again, getting the product and the people in place so that I actually prove the idea that I have works. And that's the trajectory that we're on today.
Very good. As an outsider, I love watching you work and how you put all those pieces together. Yeah, 3 or 4 months in, it's amazing how far you've already come.
I sometimes wonder about that. The program was 16 weeks, and that seemed like it took forever. And the last 4 months have gone by like that.
Yes.
So that's the joy of being an entrepreneur,
Yep.
which I suggest everybody do. Once in their life, be an entrepreneur.
This is wonderful. We should hire you. Just
That's right. That's right.
and something else you've been able to leverage from your background is relationships and networks. With departments of transportation, et cetera. What else, if people are watching this and they want to engage with your company, how can they do so?
Well, I'll say a couple of things. For the average person, if you do go to the roadsentinel.net website, you can become an advocate. You can understand more about what is going on, what the pitfalls are that are out there. From a different perspective, we're a startup and we're going to be in the process of understanding, do we go alone? Can we generate the revenue? Or do we look for investors? And, for anyone who's out there that's listening, it's a potential investor or just has interest in startups in general, a private one-on-one pitch. I'd love to just sit down, explain in more detail, show what we're doing, show you the prototype. Love to hear from you.
Very good. Thanks so much for coming today and doing the podcast. And we are really excited to support you through Launch LNK and support the growth of your company. And big things are ahead.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.